Alma 2. Contention because of a man named Amlic. He was a cunning man, wise man as to the wisdom of the world. He was after the order of the man that slew Gideon by the sword according to the law. This cunning silly drew many away. They were powerful, and many endeavored to establish Amsili as king. This was alarming to the people of the church, and everybody not after the persuasions of Amsili, for they knew, according to their law, such things must be established by the voice of the people. Therefore, if wicked Amsili gained the voice of the people, he would deprive them of their rights, privileges of the church, because he intended to destroy the church of God. It came to pass, people assembled together in separate bodies, either for or against Amsili. Having much dispute and wonderful contentions, they assembled together to vote. They were laid before the judges, and the voice of the people came against Amsili. He was not made king. This was cause of much joy in the hearts of those who were against him. But Amsili did stir up those who were in his favor to anger against those not in his favor. They gathered themselves together and did consecrate Amsili to be their king. He commanded that they should take up arms against their brethren, and they did, to subject them to him. The people of Amsili were distinguished by the name of Amsili. It's the Amlicites versus the Nephites. The Nephites were aware of the intent of the Amsilites, so they prepared to meet against them. They armed themselves by swords, scimitars, bows and arrows, stones and slings, all manner of weapons of war, vaccines, every kind. They were prepared to meet them at the time of their coming. They appointed captains, chief captains and higher captains. Amsili armed his men with all manner of weapons of war. He appointed rulers and leaders over people to lead them into war. The Amlicites came upon the hill of Anuhu, which was east of the river of Sidon, ran by the land of Zeharima, and began to make war with the Nephites. Excuse me. Alma, being chief judge and governor of the people of Nephi, went up with his captains, chief captains, heads of his army, against the Amlicites to battle. They began to slay the Amlicites upon the hill east of Sidon. Amlicites did contend with much strength, and many Nephites fell. Nevertheless, the Lord did strengthen the hand of the Nephites. They slew the Amlicites with great slaughter, and they began to run. The Nephites pursued Amlicites all day to slay them. 12,532 dead of the Amlicites and 6,562 dead of the Nephites. When Alma could no longer pursue them, they pitched their tents in the valley of Gideon, called after Gideon, slain by Nehor by the sword. Alma sent spies to follow the remnant of the Amlicites, to learn their plans and plots to preserve them from being destroyed. They set out to watch. Those that were sent out to watch were called Zeram, Amnor, Manthi, and Limher. The next day they came back in great haste, greatly astonished and struck with much fear. They said, "To our great astonishment, in the land of Minyan, above Zeremia, we saw the Amlicites joined with the Lamanites, and they are our brethren. They are running with the flocks, their wives, and their children, and except we hurry, they are going to obtain the possession of our city. Our fathers, wives, and children will be slain." The people departed out of the valley of Gideon towards the city. As they were crossing the river Zidon, the Lamanites, numerous as the sand of sea, came to destroy them. Nevertheless, the Nephites prayed for deliverance. The Lord heard their cries, and Lamanites did fall before them. Alma fought with Amsili with the sword face to face. They contended mightily with one another. Alma, being a man of God, exercised much faith and cried, saying, "O Lord, have mercy, spare my life, that I may be an instrument in the hands to save and preserve this people." They contended again and slew Amsili with the sword. He also contended with the king of the Lamanites, but the king fled back and sent his guards to contend. Alma and his guards contended with the guards of the Lamanites until he slew and drove them back. Thus he cleared the ground, or rather the bank, which was on the west of the river Sidon, throwing bodies of the Lamanites into waters of Sidon, so as people might have room to cross contend with the Lamanites and Amlicites on the west side. When they crossed, the Lamanites fled. Nephites did pursue them and slay them. They were slain and scattered on the west until they reached the wilderness called Hermounts. It was infested with wild, ravenous beasts. Many died and were devoured by the beasts, the vultures, their bones found heaped up on the earth.